Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Brad Pitt. It seems like Angelina Jolie is on a mission to ruin Brad Pitt's career, just like Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. Back in 2022, people obtained a reacted FBI report that Angelina anonymously submitted a Freedom of Information Act request. In the documents, the actress alleged to the authorities that while Brad was under the influence, he was menacing towards her and 6 of their kids on September 14, 2016 during a flight from France to Los Angeles. The investigation would then be closed by November of 2022, and no charges were ever pursued, but that hasn't stopped Angelina from submitting more claims to the media. A source even close to Brad has claimed that both Brad and Angelina have had the documents in question for years, and by Angelina submitting the documents, it means that she is trying to revive issues that were solved to hurt Brad's career. With the documents being filed with evidence that wasn't really accurate or proven, Brad has been lucky enough to escape Angelina's hands of destruction for now, but it seems like she doesn't want to give up just yet, and we could see her ruin his career very shortly. Number 9. Tyga. At one point, there wasn't a song people didn't know when it came to Tyga's career, but after he and Kylie Jenner split, it seems like a lot of people chose to abandon Tyga altogether, which is pretty sad as he's an amazing artist. It seems like now when his songs do come on, everybody in the room goes, oh my god, I forgot about this song, and it proves after his relationship ended with Kylie, he became pretty irrelevant. Even back in 2017, Kylie reportedly had to ask Kanye West to help Tyga with his stalling career because she saw her ex was struggling after the split and she felt really bad for him. An inside source close to Kylie would then reveal to Hollywood Life that Kylie doesn't want to see her ex fall apart just because they weren't together. Once Kylie realized that Tyga's career was stalling after their breakup, she was a little concerned, so she reached out to Kanye to see what they could do to revive Tyga's career. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Rupert Saunders. When British director Rupert Saunders was chosen to direct Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like a start of a pretty promising career for Rupert. But just weeks after the film lackluster theatrical debut, he and Kristen Stewart were captured in a compromising position together. While both came out to issue public apologies about the affair, as Kristen cheated on her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, Rupert was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross. While Kristen's career was able to continue on throughout the scandal, it would take Rupert years to secure a second feature of his directorial gig with his 2017 Ghost in a Shell, which was crushed by critics, by the way. At the time, he was also still imploring the public to forgive and forget, but even when he came out to say, everyone makes mistakes and I am bound to make many more mistakes and I wouldn't expect my life to be exciting if I didn't, people still couldn't forgive and forget, and it's caused his art in the directing field to come to a complete halt. Number 7. Kris Humphries. It seems like if you enter into the Kardashian family, in even the smallest of capacities, your reputation is at risk. I mean, just ask Jordan Woods and Scott Disick. But if you need more proof, you can always look at the long list of ex-friends, ex-stylists, ex-boyfriends, and ex-husbands. And this is exactly what happened to NBA star Kris Humphries, who became a laughingstock of both Hollywood and the basketball scene after his highly publicized marriage to Kim Kardashian ended after just 72 days. Just after, in December 2011, Kris would find himself being booed during basketball games, and he would be put into a position where he bounced from team to team before landing with the Philadelphia 76ers, but his time with the team wouldn't last long as he would be waived from their roster in October 2017. And that would be the last time Kris would professionally dribble a basketball on the court. That same year, Kim would then sit down in an interview with Watch What Happens Live where she would admit that she knew while she was on her honeymoon with Kris that their relationship wasn't going to work out. Now it seems like Kris has found a new passion in life as he co-owns several Five Guy burger shops and is a franchisee of a salad eatery. Number 6. Robin Thicke. After Robin Thicke dominated the charts for the entire summer of 2013 with his hit single Blurred Lines, Robin's career essentially died overnight after his wife wife Paula Patton filed for divorce in October 2014, citing irreconcilable differences as the cause for their split. According to TMZ, Robin tried to win back Paula by releasing his sappy album Paula in 2014, but it was apparently a flop with its namesake and his fans, as the album only sold 530 copies in its debut week in the UK. And from there, things only got worse for Robin, as months after filing to the end of their marriage, Paula not only accused Robin of cheating on her with several different women, but she also accused him of physical and emotional abuse, infidelity, and even said he had an addiction to substances. Then during the couple's bitter custody battle for their son Julian, Paula then asked the court to grant her a temporary restraining order against Robin, which was ultimately granted until the courts ordered them to have shared custody of their son. Number 5. Meg Ryan. During Meg Ryan's heyday, she was one of America's most in-demand screen sweethearts, as she went on to nab the romantic lead in a slew of successful pictures that included Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, and You Got Mail. But just as she was rising to the top to be the girl next door, her image would be shattered after rumors started to claim that she was having an affair with Proof of Life co-star Russell Crowe. The tabloid's frenzied affair was then publicly perceived as the reason for her divorce from her husband of 9 years, and what led to the serious decline in her popularity. Later, Meg would deny her fling with Russell for being the reason behind her divorce when she told Harper Bazaar, "I definitely have moments of wanting to straighten it all out and tell everyone what really went down, but you know, who would I be proving anything to?" Though there may be plenty of blame to go around, Meg's affair was the beginning of the end of her career, and her household name would be left behind in the 90s. And number 4, we have Ryan Philippe. Ryan Philippe's relationship with Reese Witherspoon was intense when the pair starred as the romantic leads in the 1999 romantic drama Cruel Intentions, and attracted a generation of followers deeply invested in the couple's marriage and their 2 kids. Many thought their love would be a happily ever after, but when their union fell apart 8 years later, many fans would be furious after rumors emerged and claimed that Ryan had cheated on Reese. That very same year, Ryan allegedly stepped out with his stop-loss co-star Abby Cornish. Even though Reese and Ryan went on to be successful co-parents for their kids, Ryan's career hasn't quite revived from all the negative press associated with the pair's breakup. And seemingly overnight, he lost the Hollywood heartthrob status he once boasted in films such as I Know What You Did Last Summer and Flags of Our Fathers. Since Ryan has grown weary of the public's cruel criticism, he once told Howard Stern in 2010 that he was tired of being blamed and that he didn't feel like he deserved all the scrutiny as things just happen. Number 3. Jude Law. Jude Law's affair with his children's nanny became a true celebrity spectacle after the actor's secret went public in 2005. It would eventually cause his team to force him to issue an apology to his then fiancée, Sienna Miller, for the affair. In his apology, he would say, "I just want to say I'm deeply ashamed and upset I've hurt Sienna and the people close to us. There is no defense for my action, which I sincerely regret." While this wouldn't be the first time he's been accused of infidelity with his partners in the past, the high-profile nature of his relationship with Miller caused more damage to Jude's career, as before his transgressions, Jude enjoyed an A-list status in leading roles such as Cold Mountain and Closer. But after the affair, it took him many years to recoup his mainstream appeal by the way of Sherlock Holmes. While his career seems to be doing just fine these days, it's probably just because he's been keeping his personal life pretty low-key. Number 2. Tiger Woods. Few professional golfers have earned the kind of household name status of Tiger Woods, and even fewer have watched their reputations fade away as they sunk into the mud like Tiger did in 2009, after his extramarital affairs were exposed, after Tiger's wife at the time, Ellen Nordegren, gave birth to the couple's second child. The tabloids would unearth one of Tiger's relationships with another woman. After Tiger lost his family-friendly face, he would lose millions in endorsement deals, and he was even to blame for billions of shareholder losses. Even his golf game suffered as a result of his personal drama back Back in 2013, Woods would briefly recover his career, but his personal activities tarnished his image again after new allegations surfaced and claimed he cheated on beloved Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn. And while most of the public has forgotten about Tiger's past transgressions, it seems like his reputation may still be holding him back from success. And coming in number 1 today, we have Ned Fulmer. So ex-BuzzFeed employee Ned Fulmer is known because of his role with the popular YouTube channel The Try Guys, as he helped them grow an audience to tune of millions on BuzzFeed's publication platform before he and his colleagues decided to go independent. In addition to the cheating, entertaining content with his colleagues, Ned went on to brand himself as the ultimate family guy just after he and his wife Ariel marked their 5th anniversary in 2017. He shared that he had no doubt about picking her as his partner, as it was love at first sight. However, in September 2022, Ned would prove otherwise, as just over 10 years after the couple tied the knot, the house that Ned built came tumbling down, as it would be exposed that Ned had cheated on his wife with a member of the staff. The cheating allegation was then later confirmed by Ned himself when he put out an Instagram statement saying, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship." The Try Guys then went on to remove Ned from the platform and later announced that Ned wouldn't be making any appearances on the pre-recorded material going forward. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kanye West. After losing his billionaire status due to brand endorsement deals canceling their partnership with Kanye, after he started to spread hate speech across the internet, Kanye would soon be left with only $400 million to his name, which is a far cry from the $1.8 billion he used to be worth in the first half of 2022. To make matters even worse, after his divorce was finalized, he would then be ordered to pay Kim Kardashian another $2.4 million per year, which equals out to be $200,000 a month for child support. He also needs to split the cost of healthcare, security, and educational expenses with his ex-wife in the process. But the money altogether is just really strange, as Kim is already worth $1.7 billion. Not only would Kanye lose a large sum of his money, but he would also lose his $60 million home that he shared with Kim during their settlement. Altogether, after 6 years being married to Kanye, he would ultimately end up losing $2.1 billion in assets that he shared with his ex-wife, which included a mansion in California, in Calabasas, a Miami condo, and 2 ranches in Wyoming, art, vehicles, jewelry, and livestock. Number 9, Amber Heard. When Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016 after being married to the actor for 15 months, she would later be awarded $7 million in the divorce settlement, which she said she would be donating to charity. But the process wasn't as clean cut, as the pair's court battles quickly turned ugly as Amber started to spread lies to ruin Johnny's career. The former couple then went on to spend most of 2020 and 2021 in court for a libel case against UK's The Sun. After Depp lost the suit in appeal in 2022, the pair would then return to court for a defamation trial Johnny brought against Amber over a 2018 article she penned for The Washington Post. When the court proceedings for the case kicked off on April 11, 2022, both actors made bombshell allegations of physical, emotional, and mental abuse against each other. On June 1st, 7-person jury then reached a verdict and decided that Johnny proved his ex-wife defamed him. The jury then awarded Johnny with another $15 million in damages, though Amber would only have to pay $10 million due to Virginia law cap on punitive damages. She would win 1 of 3 defamation counts, and she was awarded $2 million in damages. Both parties appealed, but back in December, Amber announced she settled with her ex, and he donated the $1 million he received from her to charity. After all the expense, Amber is now worth -$6 million. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? So don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8, Wiz Khalifa. While it's honestly pretty easy to look at numbers that were involved in Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's divorce, the numbers alone will make you wince. Thank God the couple had a prenup. Then Wiz Khalifa would have lost more than he was set to lose during their divorce. As per their prenup, Wiz Khalifa would be forced to fork out $1 million to pay Amber Rose, and he would be forced to pay Amber child support payments of $14,800. TMZ would then later report that Wiz was able to keep most of his assets, which included their shared home and 10 of their cars. It's also worth noting that there wasn't any hard feelings between the pair, as after their divorce they were both seen celebrating together in an X-rated club for one final hurrah. Number 7, Steven Spielberg. Just because because Steven Spielberg was the greatest director alive, it didn't mean that he was immune to problems with his love life. At the height of his career in 1985, Steven probably made the biggest mistake of his life when he didn't make Amy Irving sign a proper prenup before marrying the actress. Amy, being known best for her role in Carrie, was considered to be one of the best actors of her generation. Even before the pair got married, they had a pretty rocky relationship, and at one point they had this pretty messy breakup that even caused Amy to lose out on a major role in Indiana Jones. The two finally did reconnect and got married in 1985, but by the time they filed for divorce and finalized everything, Steven would be ordered to pay Amy a large sum of $100 million, as at this time the judge saw it fit because the popular director was worth over $1 billion. So you're probably wondering how the actress was able to obtain so much money. Well, because when Steven wrote the prenup, he did it on a napkin, and the judge ruled out that the napkin document wasn't legally valid. Number 6. Janet Jackson. So we clearly live in a society that favors men. And if you really think about it, when we think of men in a divorce, we usually think that they're the ones that have to pay big when it comes to expenses. But apparently gender knows no bounds when it comes to money and fame, as some of the biggest female stars have lost millions of dollars during their split with their partner. When Janet Jackson secretly got married to songwriter Renee Elizondo in 1991, it was kind of a really big shock for everyone when he filed for a divorce in 1999. While many suspected that the pair had gotten married at some point, no one realized it was for that long and that it could fall apart also behind closed doors, especially since he was always around, with Renee producing some of her biggest hits, directing some of her music videos, and even using his hand to cover Janet on her infamous Rolling Stone cover shot. No one would know that later Janet would lose millions after the divorce was finalized. Renee filed to question its validity and ended up walking away from the marriage with a whopping sum of $10 million. Number 5. Scott Disick. Back in 2022, tensions between Scott Disick and the Kardashian-Jenner family would be at an all-time high after Scott took it upon himself to discuss the current situation going on with him and Kourtney, and his expression would also linger over how he felt about his family as a whole. The whole situation would come after Scott was left fuming because the family chose to leave him out of family events, something they've never chosen to do before. On an episode of The Kardashians, fans would see Scott letting all of his feelings loose by telling the entire Kardashian family how he really feels about being left out of the family events. When Kris invited Scott to a diner for brunch, she would tell him that they were celebrating her birthday there because she was trying to spare Scott's feelings, because she was actually having a bigger party at her new home and didn't invite him. While Kris was lying to Scott, he quickly caught on that Kris was being untruthful with him. It would then quickly come out that she was having a party and didn't want to invite Scott because Kourtney and Travis would be there. Scott would then be very emotional because he felt like Kris was no longer treating him like family because he was no longer with Kourtney. To make matters even worse, Kendall left him out of her birthday festivities, and Scott having no family, he would be left feeling heartbroken that his only family has completely abandoned him. I'm mostly disappointed in Khloe in this situation, as she's had such a close relationship with Scott, and it's to the point that she just threw him to the side like he was nothing. Number 4. Harrison Ford. Once upon a time, Harrison Ford was married to Melissa Mathison, and they were the poster child of what people used to use as proof to explain that Hollywood stars could stick it out and make a long and happy marriage work. But unfortunately, all things good come to an end. After 21 years of marriage, when the two shocked the world and filed for divorce, Melissa would then walk away with not only just $85 million, but she would also walk away with a percentage of all future royalty earnings from films made during their marriage. This included his earnings that he made in the Indiana Jones franchise. The pair had met in 1979 on the set of Apocalypse Now. Melissa was working on a script and he had a small role, but it's surprising that Melissa was able to walk away with so much money. She was pretty successful on her own, as she was famous for writing E.T. for Steven Spielberg. While we all thought the couple were in love, we all failed to realize that things took a rocky turn for the couple in the last years of their relationship, with the trial separation and a lot of late night bar hopping shopping for Harrison Ford. Number 3, Madonna. It's not like Madonna's ex-husband Guy Ritchie wasn't successful, as he's the man responsible for Sherlock Holmes and Snatch. However, he just wasn't as successful as Madonna, so he took everything he could get. When the pair first headed towards divorce court, it wasn't really a big surprise that he would ask to receive a pretty huge sum of money, because the guy was pretty much a gold digger from the start. Also, the pair did have a pretty rocky 7-year marriage. At one point during the time together, Madonna even pointed out that she was feeling incarcerated by Ritchie, as she felt like Ritchie was really interfering with her potential as an artist, and it was one of the reasons behind why she felt like the marriage had to go down. In the process, if Madonna knew how much her freedom would cost, she probably wouldn't have gotten married to Ritchie, as near the end she reportedly had to pay him $85 million in a divorce settlement. But honestly, if you have to take someone for that much money, it really says a lot about you, especially if you're a man taking that much money from a hardworking woman. Number 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's no big surprise that Maria Shriver would file for divorce from Arnold Schwarzenegger after she found out not only was he having an affair, but he was also having an affair with the help, and he even had a child with her. Among one of the most trickiest separations Hollywood has ever seen, 4 years after Maria filed for divorce, they would still be officially married, as sources would claim Arnold just kept delaying the inevitable. Maybe he knew that there was no way he was walking away from this divorce without paying big, and really, he would be right, since the pair did not have a prenup according to California law, which meant that Maria was entitled to half of his fortune. Feeling bad about the whole thing and how it ended, Arnold then threw in some extra cash as a good gesture. The exact number was never officially released, but estimates put Arnold's fortune around $500 million to $750 million, which means Maria likely got a huge settlement around $250 to $375 million. And coming in number 1 today, we have Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan got divorced to his first wife, Juanita Benoit, he paid one of the largest amounts we've seen someone ever pay in a divorce settlement. Shortly after the pair got married in 1989, they signed a post-nuptial agreement that would grant Juanita half of Jordan's fortune in a divorce. That means when the couple decided to go their separate ways in 2006, Juanita ended up receiving a whopping amount of $168 million. She also got their Chicago mansion, custody of their kids. However, after that many years, there's clearly a lot of respect between the two, and they had no hard feelings, as when their divorce ended, it was clean and fair, and none of them aired out their dirty laundry to the press or public. Number 10, Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm, and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary Pardon Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell then later said Katy being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore. Number 8, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Now, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's breakup has been one of the messiest breakups Hollywood has ever seen, mainly because they're split back in 2016, and the drama is still going on. Now, with Brad Pitt recently opening up about his life after the messy split from Angelina, it makes you question what kind of person is Angelina Jolie really? Angelina would file for divorce from Brad Pitt following a heated altercation during a private plane ride. The flight would lead her to accuse Brad of a and during this time period, he would spend time at the studio to work on his art skills. Now, his artwork has allowed him to focus on his life and where it's all gone wrong with his relationship. It also allowed the actor to realize which friendships made him feel safe. Now, Angelina and Brad are currently involved in a court battle in which Angelina has brought up some serious accusations against Brad. Despite the two finalizing their divorce back in 2019, the two remain in a custody battle over their French winery. At number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter to say, "It's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with." Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have JLo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when JLo was going to settle down with A-Rod, and then it never happened? Shortly after JLo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All JLo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Now, the breakup between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber was extremely awkward for the teens because for the longest time, they couldn't seem to quit each other. The pair both started dating on and off from the year 2010 to 2015. They were also seen hanging out just before he got engaged to Hailey Baldwin, which caused a lot of speculation that Hailey stole Justin from Selena. Now, Hailey did come clean in the Call Her Daddy podcast recently to say none of those rumors were true, and that she and Selena were on good terms. The model and singer were also just captured in a photo together at a gala, which shows the two are on good terms with one another. At number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell in love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children. At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katie had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katie then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katie want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface. Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars, to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye.
Starting off this countdown, we have Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. The history between these two is wild. They've been dating on and off for years. They started dating late 2015. They called it quits in March of 2018. 2 months later, they were spotted together again. In January of 2019, they announced that they broke up again. Zayn said that he had a lot of issues that Gigi just couldn't help him get through. A year later, it was announced that they were back together, and then they gave birth to their first child, Kai. A little while later, there was an incident between Zayn and Gigi's mom, Yolanda. She claims that he grabbed and shoved her into a dresser during a fight. She also claims that he yelled a number of profanities at her. She also said that Malik reportedly would yell at Gigi a number of times over the phone when he wasn't in the US. One thing he said on the phone to her was, I quote, "Strap on some effing balls and defend your partner against your effing mother in my house." Obviously, due to all this and more, Yolanda does not want Zayn in Gigi's life, let alone near Kai. So this whole thing is the definition of messy. In our 9th spot, we have Grimes and Elon Musk. After being together for 3 years, the pair called it quits in September of 2021. Apparently, this happened due to the fact that he was always traveling for his work at SpaceX and Tesla, whereas Grimes mainly works in LA. But apparently, for quite some time after their separation, Grimes and their baby were still living with Elon Musk. The two maintained that they were semi-separated but remained on good terms, which I don't think was always the case. Later, Grimes revealed that the two had gotten into an argument over their baby's name and fought days before she went into labor. Then in July, Musk tweeted out saying that pronouns suck, and Grimes did not like this at all. She replied, and I quote, "I love you, but please turn off your phone and give me a dial." She continued on saying, "I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." She quickly deleted this reply, and Musk unfollowed her the next day. Moving on to number 8, we have Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. TikTok stars Addison Rae and Bryce Hall called it quits in March 2021. The pair began their romance in November of 2020. It wasn't long for the two to call it quits after Bryce Hall was suspected of cheating on Addison, although Bryce denied any of the claims. But this eventually led to the pair unfollowing each other on Instagram. Despite Bryce claiming that all the cheating allegations were false, he said that it drastically impacted their relationship. He said, and I quote, "I'll be honest, I broke up with her because I was completely stressed out with it all. I paid so much in lawyer fees to get all this bullshit off my plate." And even though Addison found a way to trust him again, it still put a lot of strain on their relationship. In our 7th spot, we have Tana Mongeau and Mod Sun. Seems like Tana Mongeau broke girl code after going after her ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, Mod Sun. It's confusing, I know. She dated Bella Thorne, who dated Mod Sun previously, and apparently they were in like a polyamorous relationship. I don't really know. It's confusing. In 2019, Bella took to Twitter accusing Tana of breaking girl code. She never revealed what she did, but it seems like she was upset about Tana and Mod Sun dating. They kind of had a thing for a while, but stayed apart to avoid drama. Then Tana went on tour with Mod Sun just before the pandemic started. Shortly after, the two went to LA and quarantined together. Anyways, in August of 2021, in a podcast, Tana revealed why the pair broke up. And it wasn't because of the Bella drama. It was because of Tana's OnlyFans. In the podcast, she said, and I quote, "The literal, actual reason we broke up, we were doing perfectly fine as a couple, literally perfectly fine. And then I wanted to start an OnlyFans, and he wasn't. He was not down for it. That was sincerely the reason. I am not shaming him for this because I think obviously, like, let's say I were to talk to him about it in an hour, let's say we sit down, I think he would have seen what it is and what it's become, and become more accepting. But he was very much kind of, you're gonna become a star. And I was like, you've dated literal stars. So, yikes. That's all I gotta say to that one. Yikes. In our 6th spot today, we have Aaron Carter and Melanie Martin. This is another very rocky relationship. The pair started dating in January of 2020, and it's been messy ever since. A week after welcoming their first child together, Aaron announced that they had split. In a tweet, he said, "Due to personal reasons, Melanie Martin and I have decided to go our separate ways." He continued on saying, and I quote, "There has been a very big lie, and my sister communicating with my ex-fiance ruined everything, considering she knew what Angel tried to do to me in court. Thanks, Angel, you ruined my family." So apparently Melanie was in talks with his estranged twin sister, Angel Carter, and he was not too happy about that. In another tweet, he said, and I quote, "I've never felt more devastated and betrayed and lied to in my entire life. This is such a horrible situation considering Prince doesn't deserve any of this, and now it's my job to just be a single father, and that's what's gonna happen." Not only that, but Carter posted on Instagram saying that he was trapped inside of his bedroom because Melanie wouldn't let him leave his house. In fact, because of everything that was going down, Child Protective Services actually showed up at their house. And of course, Carter had to go live on Instagram when they did. But then apparently a week later, the pair were back together, so I honestly don't know anymore. Are they still together? Are they broken up again? I don't know. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. Since 2016, Khloe and Tristan have been dating on and off. On June 21st of 2021, the pair called it off again. Now, many people would agree that their relationship isn't the best, and that's because Tristan has cheated on Khloe a number of times. Khloe even said that she has felt betrayed by him, but still continues to go back to him. And just this year, it was revealed that Tristan is the father to a 3rd child. He was dating Khloe at the time that his son was conceived. Like, come on, Khloe, you deserve so much better. In our 4th spot, we have John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler. After 6 years of marriage together, the couple announced on May 10th that they have split up. John's spokesperson said, and I quote, "John will not have any further comment as he continues to focus on his recovery and getting back to work." Meanwhile, Anna said, and I quote, "I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery." So it was John who decided to file for divorce. Later, it was revealed that the pair was going through a rough patch, while also experiencing irreconcilable differences in their marriage. Just months later, John got together with Olivia Munn. Fans were shocked at how fast he moved on. And only months into their new relationship, they announced that they were expecting their first child, which was shocking. Not only due to the fact how fast it all happened, but also because Mulaney has also made it clear that he didn't want kids. Moving on to number 3, we have Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. JLo and A-Rod first met in 1999 when Alex was still playing baseball. Then again at a Yankees game in 2005, but at the time they were both married to other people. Eventually though, things fell into place and the pair began dating in 2017. 2 years later, in 2019, they got engaged. But in March of 2021, the pair split. According to JLo's friend that talked about their split, she said, and I quote, "JLo insisted on it. There are too many issues that are unresolved. She has been pretty miserable and didn't think it was in her best interest to stay with Alex." Then, only months later, rumors swirled about JLo and Ben Affleck getting back together. And now it's official. They are. Hashtag Bennifer for life. In our 2nd spot, we have Shia LaBeouf and Margaret Qualley. This pair started dating after starring in a music video together, "Love Me Like You Hate Me." However, in January of 2021, the pair split after Shia got into legal troubles with his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs. They split just weeks after his ex filed a lawsuit against him. She accused him of sexual battery, assault, and emotional distress. Shia denied all the allegations, but Margaret did not want to be with a man accused of such. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Kim and Kanye. Of course, they had to make it to number 1 on today's list because everything going on between them is wild. On January 5th, 2021, news broke that Kim and Kanye were ending their marriage, and on February 19th, 2021, Kim officially filed for divorce. The two have 4 children together, and that right now is causing a lot of drama. Apparently, Kim was keeping the kids away from Kanye. Kim wants full custody, but obviously Kanye wants joint custody. Kim says that Kanye is unstable. Kanye says that Kim's unstable. It's just really messy. And now it's even worse when you throw Pete Davidson into the mix. that's just adding more fuel to the fire. On June 10th, 2021, during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season finale, Kim said, and I quote, "After turning 40 this year, I realized, no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state. To me, I thought, oh my God, that's when we're getting along the best. But then, that is sad to me, and that's not what I want." Yikes, that's a hard thing to admit. And I feel like their situation is going to just keep getting messier before it gets better.